What is up, guys? So today is going to be more of a serious note, but I kind of just want to bury the hatchet finally on this, because I know I did a video on this before and it got a good amount of views and people were actually benefiting from it, and that made me happy. But in the same sense, I feel like now that that's out, I still want to capitalize on it before to now and why I went about the way I did. This is going to be all about why I discontinued my Paxil. I in no way want this video to come across as me telling you what to do. I more or less want this to come across as why I went about making the decision that I did and why I feel like it's the right thing for me to do. And maybe it's the right thing for you to do too, or maybe this video will speak to you, or maybe you're not ready to, and I completely understand too, but I'm gonna kind of explain why, because I feel like it's only right, since I did originally make a video on why I did use Paxil. So I will say, a year ago today, I was probably in the worst shape that I've ever been, mentally not in a good place. My anxiety, I do not know what it stemmed from. I know the first panic attack that I ever got was actually from a bad trip from smoking too much. More or less me being ill-informed, it caused a panic attack because I thought I was gonna die from kind of the way I was feeling. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with anything cannabis related, because I actually use CBD oil, and I'm going to be reviewing CBD oil here in a little bit to tell you guys how it actually helps a lot with anxiety and depression. Whereas the THC part, if you are really naturally anxious, high THC levels, sativa strains instead of indica strains, are not going to be as friendly to you. And I just want to say that up front too, just in case you are wondering. Random side note, PA, state I live in, is now legal for marijuana, so I thought about going to a consultation and talking to them, because you can actually get CBD oil from them. I'm going to get into the natural things after. So Paxil, I was in a bad place. The reason why I got on my Paxil is because of the anxiety and depression that I was experiencing was keeping me from living a full life, and it was keeping me from even experiencing things like I normally did. Not leaving the house because I was paranoid and I had these anxious, shaky feelings. It's kind of like my brain was not completely understanding the fight or flight mechanics. I don't know why I'm anxious. I don't know why I'm worried like this. So I decided to get on Paxil, and Paxil did help. Let me tell you what, it did definitely get me to a good spot. I think once you get to a point and you realize, once you get to like the years mark where you're on something for years, you start to realize that you go from being really good from your started at to just being okay. And I wasn't really okay with being just okay. I started to get to a point where with Paxil, obviously a lot of SSRIs, you have the weight gain, and Paxil is actually one of the ones that are known to gain a lot of weight. So that was really a determining factor for me to start out with, because I was transitioning to using cardio and lifting as my outlet to benefit from, because obviously, if you don't know, you get natural serotonin production in your brain from exercising, lifting, doing that kind of stuff, doing physical activities, and just being active in general, having an active lifestyle. It really helps. Paxil was literally fighting against me. The first 3 months I lost 20 pounds while on Paxil, but the one thing that was destroying me was the simple fact that Paxil was still impeding my metabolism. Guessing partially responsible for low testosterone levels or something, because I do also experience sexual related side effects as well as the weight issue, and those were two of the main ones. Also the insane cravings, and there was also the very low lows. It did an amazing job at making anxiety non-existent, but it did a horrible job with my depression. It would bring out some bad days that I was not expecting, just out of nowhere. Sometimes make me get to such a low place that I felt like ending it. That's as deep as I'm going to get. I'd never have gotten that low without antidepressants. So if that says anything, that's another reason why I was like, you know what, I just can't get myself to stay on this. And that's not to say that don't benefit from it. And like I said, there is a point where it helps you, and if it keeps you going, then definitely don't decide that you just need to get off of it. I got to a point where I knew that I was benefiting more from what I was doing in my active lifestyle than what I was benefiting from by staying on it. And after I lowered it to 5, which I'm not completely off of, but I am in the midst of going completely off. You definitely experience the side effects. The side effects I got were, in particular, the brain zaps, and that's a lot of people will either have them or they won't, and it's kind of, the best way I can explain it is when you move your head, it's almost like you moved it too fast and you start to get lightheaded, but you get this like electrical shock behind your eye feeling, and it sometimes like resonates in your jaw and other parts, and it instantly makes you nauseous and disoriented. Definitely not fun, but I will say that Kratom has helped me a lot. And no, I do not recommend everyone go out and use it. Everyone was getting mad at me before when I said that on the last video that I was using Kratom. If you have like a very bad self-control and you're very susceptible to addictions and stuff, do not get involved with it. They use Kratom for control with withdrawal from different things such as heroin, pain meds, stuff like that, but it also really works for antidepressant withdrawal. I realized. Gave it a try and it definitely helped me. Now I've never gotten addicted to Kratom, and I don't even feel like, for me, Kratom is addictive, at least to my personality, because I have never been able to just not stop. I stop once I stop feeling the side effects, which usually, from the last time I've done this, last 2 weeks, so I take Kratom on and off every other day for 2 weeks. Lifting and cardio have really helped. I bike 2 to 3 times a week, and then I lift for an hour every single day, hitting a different body part. The simple fact is, once I lowered Paxil down to 5, I instantaneously, within 2 or 3 days, lost 10 pounds. It almost fueled me even more to continually want to work out and see results and stuff. So that is a really good thing I can recommend. If you are watching this to get off, or if you're like curious as to if you want to get off or not. Also, I will be doing a review and trying to do more reviews for a lot of you guys that want the more natural approach. I bought off of CBD FX, which is a company I've used before, and I really, really like it. Just realized that they have this new vape CBD oil that they have really good reviews online, so I actually ordered some through them and will be reviewing it. I also will be attempting other natural stuff to be the guinea pig for you guys. I ordered something called 5-HTP. It is something that's like naturally occurring in your body, but it helps regulate mood and serotonin and stuff like that. It has really good reviews, so I'm gonna try it and fingers crossed, hope it helps. I was also reading a lot in the comments that it actually helps too with like withdrawal, because a lot of people in the comments were using that to actually get off of their antidepressant because of the same things that I'm saying right now. Also, I've heard of ashwagandha root, pills like that. I know on Amazon they have good deals on that. I've tried it, didn't really work for me. St. John's wort is another one that people will recommend. Now, I definitely would not take that until you're completely, like, your med is out of your system if you want to go that route, because they say that you can actually get serotonin syndrome or something like that, where you have too much serotonin in your body and you can actually get really, really ill from that, so you do not want to risk that. Plenty of other options that you can do, as well as being physically fit and trying to fix like a diet and everything like that. Trying to eat more smart, which is something I have been doing for the past 3 months on top of the lifting and everything. I think it's easy to get into this mindset too that you need something, and I feel like the more I realized that I didn't need it, that there was so much other stuff that can help me out. Also, sticking to a busy lifestyle, focusing on what's going on in life, like work, something that you're passionate about, hobbies, that really does take your mind off of things, and keeping busy really does help. I'll get into that repetitive mindset. That's part of my anxiety too, where I'll just have to like reminisce over and over again on stupid stuff, and I get so deep on my thoughts. But now when I notice that I'm doing that, I kind of like snap myself out of it. I'm like, what you're thinking about isn't gonna go anywhere. You're just gonna start a cycle. So if I ever think I'm going into a negative mind space, I try to control that. So it also does help to be like self-aware, and I've heard meditation works too. There's a lot of natural stuff, I will say, if you are looking to get off your antidepressants or make the first steps. And I hope this either inspires you or this informs you, or whatever you're watching this for, it helps in one way or another. But like I said too, I don't want to come off like I'm telling people to get off of it, because regardless of the fact, I would not change me getting on Paxil when I did. I definitely needed it, but now I'm at a point where I definitely don't need it, And I realized that, and I'm making the changes, switching to more like natural stuff to help me and benefit me in the long run. And I definitely feel like it will help a lot more, because if you didn't know, the reason why people tend to go all natural is because there's a lot less side effects and or none. A lot of them have none. I've never gotten any side effects from taking any CBD. The workout regimen that I have been doing, if it wasn't for pre-workout and stuff like that too, something I never thought of or never took when I was younger, but now that I'm realizing that there's a lot more supplements available like that, it has changed the way that I work out, which in turn changes my mood even more, because I'm able to push out so much more when it comes to working out that it really does benefit me even more, because then I actually get more out of it. I'm getting more serotonin out of it. You start to get like kind of like a runner's high when you lift heavy enough and hard enough. So there's definitely benefits to it, and I just want to tell every single one of you that watches this that there is hope. And even if you're struggling right now to get off of it, or if you're trying to make a decision, I would definitely consult a doctor, not take advice from a stranger online. But I will say that you can get through it. I definitely got through it, and maybe do research on what stuff you can take to help make the process a little bit easier, because withdrawal sucks. Let me tell you what, you never would expect something that helps you, that you get from doctors, is gonna really negatively affect you in the long term when you try to get off. I hope this helps, guys. I hope this is motivational, or I hope this just like answers questions, and I hope this gets my audience to know me a little bit better and kind of know just what's going on, and that I'm a lot happier and a lot healthier. I'm just living an all-around better life, and I'm super happy to say that. I love you guys. Make sure to be happy, just less. I'll see you in the next one. As always,